My name is Nelly. I'm from Brazil. I'm living in England for almost 5 years. I'm working at DHL at the moment. We just came back from our holiday in Brazil.
You're studying as well?
Yes, I'm doing my second university in business. And I think that's it.
Elsa?
Amazing. My name is Elsa, and I am from Lebanon. I live in the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. It's been 4 years that I've been here. My original job is I am a conference interpreter, so I translate in conferences. When you see those gray boxes and hear those people speaking in your ears, it's basically us. It's real people. It's us. Usually, I do Arabic, English, and French, and now I'm also developing a new business in which I help people like get done with people pleasing and find their own direction and finally live the life that makes them happy. So yeah, this is me in a short nutshell.
What part of UAE do you live? In Dubai?
Well, I am 20 minutes away from Dubai. I'm in another emirate, which is Sharjah, but I'm like very close to Dubai.
Nice, nice. So, we've just come back from Brazil
Wow.
for 1 week in Brazil, and it's very nice in Brazil. Really nice. The weather was amazing.
I've never been there, but I can imagine.
Oh, you didn't tell about your Italian passport as well?
Yeah, I'm half Brazilian and half Italian. So I was born in Brazil, but my mom is Italian from Naples. And then that's why I have a
Italian passport.
passport. Yes.
So, how's your week been, Dave?
Oh, yeah, it's been great. Nice and cold here in New York. Freezing, snow, more snow tonight. It's very cold where we are. So, but it's winter time, so it is what it is. And we're prepared to the best. I'm indoors now, so it doesn't snow in my house. It's warmer in the house. So that's the benefit of having a house. I'm okay. I'm okay. And I have socks and I have jackets, so I'll be okay. But thanks for asking. It's good to have you back from Brazil. I can't wait to hear all about it.
Ali, how was your week?
Yeah, that was actually wonderful. And I think it's my first podcast with Nelly and Elsa. First, I want to introduce myself. Hi, Elsa. Hi, Nelly. I'm
Hello.
actually right now in Saudi Arabia, in Dammam, and doing a job in tourism company. So you were talking about you were already in Ajman, sorry, in Sharjah, Dubai. I was been there almost 4 years. So I left and now in Dammam. So the weekend was very wonderful, and now I had just planning to go to another city. It's Riyadh. Maybe Elsa know that, and I will spend like 1 or 2 days. Then I will come back to my company, and so on. The weekend will carry on.
Nice.
That's
Yes, I remember Riyadh very well. I had a conference there in December. It was a big, big, big thing. So, and I enjoyed it so much.
that's wonderful.
So, as well as just coming back from Brazil, it was my first ever long haul flight. So that was interesting.
So how was your
How
long
was it?
flight experience?
Um, it was very interesting, to say the least. So we had terrible turbulence flying to Brazil,
Oh,
like really bad. It was really scary, actually. Like turbulence for more than an hour. Whilst crossing, we're in the middle of the ocean at the time, so it wasn't very nice, to say the least.
So Luke, when you're on this plane, how many people on this plane was it? Was it a 747? How big was the plane?
It was huge.
Yeah, it was a
Huge.
4747, yes,
Yeah.
747, yes.
So there was an upper level. Were there people upstairs and downstairs?
No,
One of those.
no,
Just
No,
one.
just
that's
one level.
Yes.
the two levels is Boeing and also with the A380, the double decker.
Right. But Luke, when you're on this, that's great, Ali. I didn't know that. Luke, when you're on this plane, are you aware of the type of plane you're on and its success record in travel?
No.
Do you pay any attention to that at all?
Well, I didn't do any research before about it.
Okay.
Is it bad?
All right.
Their record.
No, I'm just curious.
Oh.
When the turbulence comes on, do you start saying, "Hey, let me look into this plane"? Because usually there's a magazine in the chair in front of you,
Yeah.
and then you can open up and it tells you all the different planes that are available in this, in that airline, whether it's American Airlines or Eastern. And then, because I know I did that, I said, "Wait a minute, what kind of a plane is this that I'm on? What's the success? What is the success record?" So then
That's not a good thing to do.
I went into the back of the book.
I think every plane have the same cardboard mentioned by the aircraft. The details, but nobody they care about what's written in that. Only
Right.
some of the people who are curious about I'm flying from what kind of aircraft. So all the time I first check while completing the boarding. Then I check, oh, it's 737, 787, or 777 Boeing, whatever, what kind of this aircraft. Because if you are a common traveler, by checking the board card, how many you can get the idea this plane getting a turbulence or not. My bad experience was all the time when we travel with the Boeing 747. Even the Boeing 777 is good. The turbulence is it's very comfortable. So and then on the other hand, if you travel to A380, the biggest one, how big the wingspan is, the turbulence will be very low. If the wingspan is small, like the another aircraft says like Airbus A350, its wingspan is small and you can get the too much turbulence.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So
that's my experience always.
the smaller the wingspan, the more turbulence. The larger the wingspan.
Yeah, more turbulence.
That
Interesting.
plane was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, if
And
you have
the
traveled
turbulence
with
was awful.
in the Boeing, it's the biggest one, I think, 777-300 and also in the other hand it's A380. That's from the Airbus. These two I have experience for the commercial flights. The biggest plane with the biggest spans, they have very less turbulence. If you flew with another airlines, another aircraft, always, in our language we say, okay, remember your God. No one knows what's going to happen in the future. Because a lot of turbulence in the small aircraft.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so Luke, it's important for everybody watching to know you left before the collision in D.C., right? You left way before that.
When was
And
that?
there's been 3 collisions with airlines recently, all 3 in the United States that really
Two
made
or
the
three?
news.
I'm
3.
sorry, I just heard 2. 3.
We just had a plane go down leaving Alaska with 10 people on board, and they've all perished, as far as I know.
Was
So
there not one in Ukraine as well? Or Russia?
I don't know. I really don't know.
No,
But
was
3 in
it
the United
Afghanistan
States.
Maybe. There might be one in
Yeah.
Afghanistan. Or there was a collision in that area. Somewhere in Russia or Afghanistan or somewhere there.
Right. Well, I think it's important to note, probably true, I don't have any facts to back this up, that collisions happen all the time. They do happen all the time in different levels, right? Not always, it could be a commercial flight, it could be, a small plane, big plane, but they happen for various reasons. But still, anybody in the industry will tell you, right, based on the numbers, airplane flight is the safest mode of travel.
Yes,
I guess
yeah.
based on the criteria of the amount of miles, the amount of flights, and the amount of people. There's a formula. So the likelihood is that something's going to happen to you is very
Yes,
small,
yeah.
but it does happen.
Yes.
It's just we fly a lot. So we all take that chance.
So we flew from London. We had to stop in Paris to do a transfer. And it's my first ever transfer as well. And I've been to Paris 3 times. But my first time in Charles de Gaulle Airport.
Charles de Gaulle.
Yeah.
Tell us about the transfer. Is that stressful? Was it a long wait? Was it a long walk? You had to
No.
transfer
No,
your own luggage.
no, it was quite easy, the transfer. We didn't have to do anything. We just got off and waited for the next plane. All the luggage was transferred by the company. It was quite easy, to be honest.
The same airline,
Yeah, the
from
same
one
airline. Yeah.
same airline, and then you went from a smaller to a larger plane, or larger to smaller.
Yes, smaller to larger plane. Yes,
Wow. Okay.
and then
So that's
after
good.
the
They
when it,
from one of three, the collision in United States right now. I think one of was the air ambulance. Is that true?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
one was
Air
their
ambulance.
ambulance.
Yeah. There was a helicopter and a flight arriving. They had 20 minutes to go. It was on the approach to the airport in Washington D.C. and the helicopter made contact and everybody perished. And then the medical one with 6 people on board crashed in Philadelphia, and that's on video. There's video of it in on a Ring camera, somebody's security camera, and then there's one in Alaska. I haven't had a chance to follow up on it, but that went down. So of course the news is going to put it on the news
Yeah.
because now it's what people are trending.
Yeah.
It's trending.
Always,
People.
also in these days, there is also another aircraft from I think South Korea. During the takeoff time, it is broken from the mid of the airplane. Maybe you also have heard about the news
No,
in
I
South
haven't
Korea
heard
as well.
that. In
So what?
Korea, South Korea. I'm sure
So
these
what?
things
Yeah, in
happen
South
all the
Korea.
time. It's yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
these 2 months like January and December were very crazy. In December, I had 5 planes air crash. One from Azerbaijan, one from also from this region, and also from Air Canada, and one in the Middle East. There were in December was 5 air crashes. At the same time in the January, the 3 or 4 also in South Korea happened. Everybody is talking what's going to happen in the aircraft industry.
It's a good question.
So Elsa, what was it like living in Lebanon, growing up in Lebanon?
Well, I basically we had a normal life. Our normal life always includes some action. Well, it happens all the time. So like we're like meh, whatever. And then I left 4 years ago. Um, so now I got used to another way of living. And like a completely different country, everything like that. So um I think we have a huge capacity for resilience and readaptation and whatever, because like we have to adapt with our ever-changing circumstances over there. And so this was our daily life. I was like basically in my little hometown, in my house, doing my thing, just like taking care of my own stuff and like basically literally minding my own business. So yeah, no, it was a nice, very simple life with the family and with my own stuff. That was basically it.
Because I did a lot of reading about Lebanon this week, and there's been a lot of trouble in Lebanon over the years, in
True.
Beirut and things like this.
That's very true. Um, it's super sad to see such a beautiful country being into these ups and downs that actually we don't have anything to do with, and like it's only the games of big sharks, let's say
Politicians.
that.
Yeah.
And who pays the price? It's the small civilians, and this is so heartbreaking. Um, on the other hand, there are so many beautiful areas over there where everything is safe, and there's a lot of tourism happening over there, including my hometown. Um, Now, what happened during the last few months was extremely exhausting for every one of us. It was like the first time I've ever seen such a large scale how to say, circumstances. But then now things seem to get back to normal. Things, people are starting to calm down. We have a president. We are working also on having a competent government, etc. So we are very optimistic that things will get even better. So yeah, we're very optimistic so far.
And how is the food in Lebanon? Because what I saw is kind of similar to Turkish food, no?
Oh, it's one of the best.
It's
It
one of
is
the best.
voted one of the best in the world. So it is statistically true. And actually, yes, we do have a lot in common because like Lebanon was part of the Ottoman Empire yeah, 100, 200 years ago, something like that.
Yeah,
So
before
we
99,
have a lot. Yeah,
the Ottoman Empire. Yeah, I know that.
true, true. And so there's a lot of like back and forth happening in terms of culture, in terms of food, etc. So you will find in the Levantine area, a lot of similarities in that area, and it is one of the. I truly, I truly confirm that it's one of the best in the world because um, it's very Mediterranean, very fresh, and it fits a lot of different tastes, and whenever it's not bland, it has a lot of varieties. It has its own particularities. So yeah, that's my take on the food.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
I have a question. Yeah, the Dead Sea is closer to Lebanon or the Jordan?
What is it?
Dead Sea.
Dancing.
Yeah, Dead Sea. Sea,
Ah, the
Black
Dead
ocean.
Sea.
Sea.
Yeah,
The Dead Sea is part of Jordan.
part of the Jordan. Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard of rumors. If you swim, you cannot, uh, get into the deeper water. You always float in this ocean.
Yeah, you cannot. I tried it. It didn't work. It actually is very uncomfortable to swim over there. You can like literally sit on the water.
Oh yeah, you can float. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
that.
this
Yeah.
water in this
And
ocean
now the
is
water
too much
is even
salty.
more
That's why
dense
there is
with the
no
salt
one.
in it. So yeah, it's even. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
So
So the
when we got to Brazil, when we landed in Brazil, after all this really terrible turbulence, we had a small conversation with one of the stewardesses, and she told us. Well, we told her that we were really scared during the turbulence because it was really loud, really shaking a lot for an hour, and then she told us, "Oh, but it's fine. I wasn't scared," and all this nice comments, and we were thinking that we think she was lying because it's their job, to keep the customers calm and
Happy.
keep them happy. If she told us, "Oh, I was really scared," then that makes your nervousness go even higher. Then,
Well, of course. I mean, this is gonna happen, and this is why I don't really trust a
Guys, just
professional
excuse
saying
me for today.
professional things.
Now turning to the highway. I will have some trouble with the internet connection. So for today, just excuse me. I'm still here right now. I have to go now
I think
because
Ali's.
on the highway. Maybe I will
Sorry.
have the disruption with the internet connection. So see you in the next podcast. Hi everybody. Have a good day. Stay blessed. Bye.
Bye bye.
Hi, Ali. Wow.
So, Brazil is really different to anywhere I've ever been. Like some of the things you see is completely out of the ordinary.
Like?
Like we were driving down the street, and you see people on motorbikes driving with no shoes. And Nelly was telling me because it's illegal to drive the motorbikes with flip-flops. So they choose to drive with no shoes, completely
For
no
obvious
shoes.
reasons.
It's
Yeah,
For
but
it's
obvious
illegal.
reasons.
It's illegal to drive with flip flops.
Yes.
So they've decided to go shoeless
Yes.
entirely. And
Yes.
now is that illegal?
No.
no,
Oh, okay. Well then, it
In my
makes sense to
mind,
me.
in my mind, you just wear trainers, no?
But not for everyone.
Training wheels. Training wheels. Is that what that is? I don't know what trainers are. All right. And what about helmets? And what about
Sneakers.
helmets? Oh, sneakers. All right.
You just
Trainers
wear
or sneakers?
no?
I guess. I don't know. What about helmets? Is that
They wear helmets, yes.
they do wear helmets?
Yes.
So they're protecting the head. Well, that's important. Who needs feet? You got a motorcycle. You got a motorcycle. You're not going to need to walk. Yeah, I get it. No, I get it. That's strange. So that was a lot. You saw that a lot.
Quite a
People
lot, yeah.
barefoot.
Yeah.
That's interesting. When I was in Italy 5 years ago, a lot of motorbikes, a lot of mini bikes, all those different two-wheeled vehicles. But people were dressed like they were going to work or coming from work or visiting, like grandmas, grandmothers, grandfathers, all different ages. And most of them, I think most wore helmets, but not like big, like it was very casual. They weren't wearing leather jackets, no protective gear, just people motorbiking around. And I wasn't used to that. We don't really do that in the United States. United States, if you're a biker, people know because you're wearing leather.
Oh, yeah.
You're a tough guy or a tough woman. I mean, there's casual people on Triumphs. They like to ride the Triumphs. Those are the casual people. Well-to-do. They buy the expensive motorcycles. But that's interesting. I didn't know that about barefoot motorcycle riding. That's not safe at all.
No.
No, that's not. I wouldn't advise it. That's interesting.
Oh,
Yeah. All
Another
right.
thing about the city we was in Brazil, in the north of Brazil, I was speaking with Nelly's family, and she was telling me, they were telling me, in winter, in that area of Brazil, the lowest the temperature goes in winter is 22 degrees.
oh.
I don't know how that translates to American temperatures, but
I'll find out. By the way, the Dead Sea is a lake. Is that correct, Elsa? The Dead Sea is actually a big lake. No?
Well, geographically speaking, it is because it's something closed, but like it's called the Dead Sea as a
yeah.
I know.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm looking, I go, wait a minute. I thought it was the sea. I was confusing it with the Red Sea, which is actually, I think, the
A
sea.
big thing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And Jordan is on the Red Sea as well.
Wow. So before I look this up, so Elsa, you're not in Lebanon now. How long did you live there before you left?
I lived my entire life, so around 28, 29 years.
Are you going back? Is that your plan to go back?
Not now, not for the near future.
Near future being 3 to 5 years, or I mean, that's your country. Do you miss it? Do you think about it all the time? I mean, are you happy where you are? Could you live where you live now for the rest of your life?
Okay, that's a very tough question. A good one, actually. We all know it's a very common saying in Lebanon. It's that country where it's like just an addictive disease. So, I mean, you hate it and you love it at the same time.
That makes sense.
For basically all the nonsense that's happening over there. So for me to be able to cope with the type of mentalities and societies that I'm encountering over there is like super, super hard for me. Um, that said, I mean, of course, it's my people, it's my country, it's the nature over there. It's so clean, it's so nice. And by the way, Lebanon is the only country that is considered Arab and that doesn't have any desert. So we don't have any desert. We are a green country, actually.
Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a good
Oh yeah, we
contribution.
have everything.
It's a green country. There's no
Yeah.
desert in Lebanon.
No, no. It's 80% mountains, very high mountains. And now our mountains are like white. They had a good deal of snow. A bit of more snow is coming next week. This is what my mom told me today. And so in my hometown, it does snow. Not too much, but it does. So yeah, and you have this also this very common saying in Lebanon, so you can in 20 minutes go down from the mountain to the sea, and it's quite
Right.
true
Right.
because you have mountains actually plunging into the sea just like that. It's quite an interesting, a very interesting topography. This is how to
Yeah,
Yes.
say it.
yeah.
Very good. Topography. 4 syllables. You're killing it. You're killing it. Good job. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So you have love hate with Lebanon.
Yeah.
Like you, yeah, I get it. I get it. Same thing with the United States. I love it sometimes, and sometimes like I gotta go. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Same thing with New York. I mean, you guys must have the same thing with London, right? Where you are in the UK, you love it. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You have the
All
same
right.
question as Elsa. How do you feel about
Yeah.
being away from your country, living in a different place?
Yeah, it's the same.
It's the same answer.
Yes, because Brazil is beautiful, but it's corrupt, it's dangerous, so yeah, I think it's the same as Elsa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I noticed when we were in Brazil, that you told me all my jewelry stays at home. When we're walking around, the phone stays in the pocket.
Yeah.
You need to be really careful. You told me it was really dangerous where we was. But I didn't feel in danger at any point.
Yeah, you didn't feel because you were with our family and we didn't put you in dangerous situation. But we have tourists that they face some dangerous situation. So
Because they're alone or just with one
yeah,
one other person.
yeah. So I think every place you are, you need to be careful at some point.
Well,
Sure.
as Clarence told us last week, when he was in Rome, his wallet was taken on the train.
Yeah, you see.
We was in Rome 2 years ago.
Yeah, but we need to be careful. That's it. Just
Yeah.
paying attention and
Yes.
Was that the wallet? I thought that was at the Coliseum, and we talked about that last week.
I
Somebody's
think he
wallet
on
was
the train
taken.
when his,
Was
wallet
pickpocketed.
taken. Yeah.
He was pickpocketed.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a different type of theft.
yes.
That's like you don't even know somebody's in your pants. That's a little scary. that's quite a skill. I don't know how they do that.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
could be a coat pocket too. I shouldn't have said pants. Wow, that's interesting. You know, there's no different here. I mean, I was in Puerto Rico years ago with my wife. We were visiting her family, her grandparents, and they lived in a beautiful neighborhood, beautiful, tropical, palm trees, beautiful houses, not mansions, just, I forgot the name of the material, but, for hot weather. It was south,
Cotton.
what's that?
Cotton.
I don't remember, but it was like concrete. Is that what you said? Concrete?
Cotton.
Concrete.
Cotton.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mean clothes?
No, no, no.
No. The building, the houses were made of like
Concrete.
adobe, whatever. It looked like it belonged in a hot climate. It wasn't like New York houses. It was a house you'd see in Puerto Rico. Anyway, so it was southeastern, and I think it was Manabo was the name of the town. But it was near the beach, and there was farm. It was beautiful. It was old, but it was well maintained, except for the hurricanes. You can't do nothing about the hurricanes. That's going to wipe out a town. But anyway, so I said, hey, and I had my baby, my boy was like 6 months old. So I put him in the back, and I said, I'm going to take a walk. It's a beautiful day. And I said, where are you going to walk? I said, I'm going to go up the hill, because we were on the bottom of a hill, and there was a loop. You go around, and then you come back home. And there's a farm over here with cows and steer. I wanted to show my son. He's 6 months old. He doesn't know what's going on. But I wanted to show him the farm. So they said, don't go too far. Just go up and come back. I go, what do you mean? I'm going to go up to the top of the hill because it ends. It was a dead-end road. He said, no, don't go up there. So why can't I go? Because we don't know the people up there. It's dangerous. And I said, but you live here. I mean, you lived here a long time. You don't know the people at the top of the hill? No, but don't go up there. Just go. When the road turns, just come right back. And apparently my wife left like a minute after me to follow me. Instead of walking with me, she followed me.
Like
and
a bodyguard.
maybe like a bodyguard, like maybe in the car. I don't remember. I didn't know this until years later. She told me, yeah, I followed you. I go, why wouldn't you just walk with me? I don't understand. So, but I didn't feel any danger, but they put that in my head. Don't go to the top of the hill. Just get to the end of the street and come right back down. And you should, it was a beautiful walk. But New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., where I live in upstate New York, it's safe. But then you go here, wherever this is, and you go, all right, where's my phone? Where's my wallet? Same thing with New York City, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, wherever you are, it's beautiful, and then you make a turn, and it's not so beautiful. You got to be careful. So that's a worldwide travel consistency all over the world, probably. That's interesting. There's probably nowhere that it's 100% safe. Not on the water, not in the sky, not up, where?
Yeah.
Not Hawaii. There's nowhere. So you got to have your wits about you. Is what I'm trying to say.
Maybe have a jacket with like inner pockets where like, okay, everything is zipped, locked, done.
Sure. They sell that. They sell these amazing coats always on TikTok or Instagram. The perfect traveling companion. They can't slice it with a knife, and they can't put their hands down your shirt or your pants or whatever it is. And it's expensive, but apparently you'll be safer. So, but you didn't have any of that, Luke and Nelly, when you were in Brazil. You were just what you're wearing normally.
Yeah, it's too hot.
Yeah, it was 30 degrees every day. Yeah, it was very hot. Yeah, sometimes more.
Yeah, more than 30 degrees every day. So.
Yeah. By the way, 22 degrees is 71.6 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So that's warm. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when it gets below that, everybody's crazy. Everybody gets cold.
Yeah.
It's too
then
cold.
then they're gonna use hoodies and jackets and.
Yes. Yes.
Elsa,
I had go ahead.
Sorry, Dave.
No, go ahead.
Elsa,
Go ahead.
last week we were talking about our dream destinations. What's top of our bucket list? So, what would be top of your bucket list to visit?
Oh my. I truly don't know. I may vote for Spain. It's a country that I would love to go to. And maybe Colombia, because I do salsa. And they have the city of salsa over there, which is Cali. So it would be amazing to go to a festival there or something like that. You have like they're the world champions and whatever. So this is something I would think of.
Colombia's on our list as well.
Oh, really?
I want to see as much of South America as possible.
Now, doesn't Colombia have a certain obvious risk involved?
Including Cali, and I know information that I cannot share. But
you have information you cannot share with us because your life would be in danger?
No, because like we signed confidential agreements, so we cannot.
Oh, wow! Can you message us later privately without anybody knowing? A little text message? That's okay. That's interesting. You know stuff. All right. I don't want to put your life in danger.
No, it's just professional secrecy and whatever. So like I don't want to break things up and like mess up my career.
No, don't do that. Where any place in Spain specific? Because that's my choice is Spain. That's my next. Because I want to walk the Caminos. I don't know if you know about the Caminos.
Dave mentioned that last week, about walking the Camino. Yeah.
You haven't heard about the Caminos?
No.
Santiago de Compostela and Pamplona and all that. Yeah. Yeah, there are these great walks in Spain, these long walks, 500 kilometers, 750 miles, things like that. You go on YouTube and you type in, Camino, Camino. I don't think it ends in an E. Whatever. It's the Spanish word for walk, I think. And you'll change your algorithm. YouTube will just send you videos all the time. And it's all about walking in Spain. And you can walk from Madrid, from Port Saint Jean, France. And these walks all end at a huge church in Santiago de Compostela. And beautiful walks, beautiful towns. And you stay at these albergues, which is like a hostel, these small little things. And it's a pilgrimage. And it used to be 100 years ago or 200 years ago, there was 10 people that did it. Now it's thousands, and it's big business. It's very huge tourism, and there's a lot of great walks in Spain and in the world. There's a lot of great walks. So that's what it is. It's a walk, unless you're very religious, in which case you can make it a pilgrimage. St. James, that's what it's all about. Like St. James's body is or is not in that church. I don't know. I'm not a religious man. I don't want to disparage it. But anyway, it's a walk. It's a long, long walk.
Very long.
Very long walk. Yeah. Takes 30 days. If you
yeah,
walk
makes
normally.
sense.
30 days. That's a long walk.
A lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my bucket list. That's my next thing.
So we also talked about anything. Did anything go wrong when he was on holiday? Any scams or anyone was rude with you in a restaurant or I don't know. Elsa.
Where?
Anywhere when he was on holiday. Did anything bad happen on holiday?
Once I was in Georgia and they like forced me to put this big bird on my hand and they took some pictures and then they wanted money for the pictures.
Oh,
So and whatever. Now my friends were super smart. They were like, okay. So they told them, we told them we're not paying. So they told us, okay, delete the pictures. Okay, we're deleting them, but then you can retrieve the pictures back later
yeah.
on from the bin. And so this is what we did.
Yeah,
So actually, we ended up scamming the scammers.
Nice.
beautiful. Well done.
That's funny. So they're taking pictures with your phone, and they want to
Yeah.
charge you. That's interesting.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, but you were smart because you know that they're not really deleted. They're deleted to the deleted
Yeah.
section, and then you retrieve them. That's great. I can't wait to see that picture. I want to see the picture of you and the big bird. What kind of bird? An eagle? What kind of bird? A cockatoo? It wasn't a pigeon.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a pigeon. It was, what was it? It was something big. Like it looked a bit like a hawk-ish, something like
Wow.
that. I don't
Was it
know if
wearing
it
a
was an
helmet?
eagle.
Was it wearing a helmet and flip flops? Was it wearing a? Because I
No
know
flip-flops.
these. Yeah, no flip flops.
Flip-flops he
But
doesn't need. He has
no,
this
they didn't need
big
it. It had a claw.
feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Some of those birds, the big birds, they put like a mask or a helmet on them or something. I don't know why I've seen that, but that's in New York City, in Times Square. This never happened to me, but they have superheroes, Marvel comics, the Avengers and all these guys, and they have Mickey Mouse. They have these people. I don't know who these people are, and they walk around Times Square. Everybody knows Times Square in Manhattan,
Yes.
where they drop the ball and all that stuff. And they walk around like superheroes or Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Pluto, doesn't matter, cartoon characters. And they just walk around. They're like, hey, look at us. And you take a picture with them. But they want you to pay.
Yes.
And there's been some situations where there was violence because they didn't get paid. And they get angry. So you have your child and you take a picture of Mickey and Minnie Mouse because you figured, oh, somebody must be paying for all this. Why would you stand here and offer yourself up to take a picture, and then you don't pay them, and then Mickey Mouse gets angry, which is not supposed to, that's out of character. You're supposed to be, you're a superhero, you're Mickey Mouse, whatever. So I don't know what happened. There's been rules, I think. It's always on the news that there was a confrontation between a family visiting from Wisconsin or somewhere in the world and a confrontation with a Mickey Mouse or superhero. It's disturbing in a way. It's not good for New York City. But 100 years ago, in that same location, there was prostitution and drugs and violence of a real sort. Where so it's much better than it was, but still, it's a different violence. It doesn't happen every day, but it's on the news when they want to tell you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
For a picture, they're charging you all this money for a picture. But if you've never been to Times Square, it's a circus. I guess, like any other downtown. Anyway, I thought I'd share that.
So
That's a good one. Yeah.
last week on holiday, I met my in-laws for the first time after 3 years with Nelly.
Congratulations.
Yeah, the welcome was really quite special, to be honest. They collected us from the airport. We got taken to one of the family homes and a huge barbecue, and the food was amazing. So yeah.
You're muted.
So, Luke, you didn't know anybody, but Nelly knew everyone.
Yes.
Right. And they met you at the airport?
Yes. Not
Wow,
all
how
of
many?
them.
Okay.
No, just two at the
Just
airport.
my mom and my aunt.
Yes.
Okay. That's nice. That's nice. So you got
Yeah.
welcome. What was the food? The barbecue? Steak?
Oh, big pieces of meat, big chops and big steaks and sausages. The
Wow.
food was quite nice.
Wow. And everybody was ruly. It didn't get out of hand. No
No.
family drama. Everything was joy.
Yes.
And
Perhaps
nobody
we need
met
to
you.
ask Nelly.
Oh yeah.
I didn't hear you guys, sorry.
Elsa, what did you say?
I would say this is a question to ask Nelly. No family drama and no crazy
No,
stuff
no.
happening.
This part of my family, we don't have dramas. We have just a good time. We spend just good time.
That's a great question, Elsa.
Yeah.
Yes, because family drama that can ruin a vacation. That can
Yeah.
ruin a vacation. So it's good that you didn't have that. That's good. So
No,
and you were there for.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry, Dave.
No,
After
go
you.
ahead. No, go ahead.
This is the happy part of my family. Like all of them are happy. All of them they have good careers. They have they live a good life. You know, like is a hot weather. Is they have their own families and. Like this part is a good part. We don't have dramas. We don't have nothing to worry about. Like it's perfect.
But
It's just good to be there.
But one part I noticed that the security that they have at their homes is something I've never seen before. They have around their house. They have like huge walls with barbed wire, with electric fences. I've never seen like this before where I've travelled.
The house that you were in
Yes.
Yes.
was surrounded by a fence with barbed wire,
And giant
Yes.
walls as well.
Yes.
giant walls. That's
10-foot
interesting.
walls. Yeah.
Are we expecting the apocalypse? What are we expecting?
Well, let me explain you.
Okay.
So this street where they live is a end street. So
It's a dead end.
yeah, it's a dead end.
Yes.
And we usually had like more houses around. So now they are selling the houses, and some of them are empty. So on that specific street, on that specific block, we have just their houses with people inside. And it's dark because
The street lights are off.
yes, and they are not changing the lights. The government, the mayor,
Council.
yeah, the council is not changing the lights. So, and it's not a safe place. Like Fortaleza is not safe. So, so for example, my cousin, he's working from 5 a.m. to sometimes 8 p.m. And his wife is at home with his child, so they need to be safe, and that's why he built a big wall, I think 3 meters wall, with fence and everything. So, because this is how they live. Look, this is Brazil. Like this is
Yes.
basically Brazil.
So it wasn't just your house. Other houses had the same walls
Yeah.
and fences.
Yes.
Wow. So that brings up the bigger question is, I'm assuming the law enforcement is a little unreliable, or a lot unreliable, or doesn't exist.
Most of the time, it doesn't exist.
Wow. So that speaks to infrastructure, right? Is not so great. Oh, but you were in the suburbs, right? You weren't in the city. You were on the
No,
outskirts.
on the outskirts, yes.
Yeah. So that's suburban. I don't know what you call it where you are,
Yeah.
but here it's suburban. Okay, so suburban. I'm in like a suburban rural area. It's mostly very safe. I've been here for 30 years. Very little happens very little that I know about. But so that's interesting. That and so do you also have security cameras in this
Yes.
house? Okay. Wow. And
And
are
big
there?
dogs.
That was my next question. You have, is there a dog involved? And you said dogs, so there's more than
Yes.
one dog,
Yes.
More. One
and
is
they
not
are
enough.
one is not enough. Wow. And they are pit bulls, they are mastiffs, they are German shepherds,
German Shepherds.
German Shepherds,
Yeah.
and then in another house we have a pit bull.
and they are trained or just hungry.
They are young now,
Okay,
but
they're in
they
training.
yes.
Wow, that's interesting. In New York. People have dogs. I've had dogs for years. I haven't had dogs in a long time, but when I would work at night, I was a bus driver. My wife was home alone, so we got one dog, and then we felt bad for the one dog being alone, so we got a second dog. So, but neither one of them were trained to attack, and one dog wouldn't. He would just lick you to death. He couldn't stop licking you, which was very annoying. So if you were a thief
Well, if it
and my
works.
dog came, what's that?
If it works.
If it works, yeah, he would lick you. He would lick you to a point where I got to get out of here. I want to rob this house, but this dog is annoying. He won't stop licking me. I guess it worked. We didn't get robbed at all, but I don't think it was because of the licking dog. Well, it's interesting to have that barbed wired fence all around you, and was it electrocuted? Was it?
Yes.
Was it? Wow.
Yes.
Wall, fence, barbed wire, electricity, dogs.
Yes.
All right, next question. Weapons?
What else?
Yes.
Yes, weapons.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. But yet, it was friendly. You had a good time.
Well, I didn't
The
feel.
family.
I didn't feel in danger at any point, to be honest.
I wouldn't either.
With all of this, yes.
No, but walking in the city, walking on the beach, I wasn't feeling in danger at any point.
It's interesting. Well, it's really one of the things I love about podcasting is meeting Elsa and Ali and Luke and Nelly, because it all different parts of the world. I mean,
Yeah.
really, this is really crazy that we're
think-
doing this,
I think that.
and yet.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
Dave.
No, the similarities of where we live exists,
Yes.
and of course there's massive differences. But
Yeah.
I think there's similarities in the differences, of course, and there's differences in the similarities. It's wonderful. It's great. I can't wait to visit Lebanon now. I've never been intrigued in my life to go to Lebanon.
Oh,
Most
really?
Americans, Elsie, are very guilty as charged, very ignorant of the rest of the world. Most of us. We don't know, we don't care. We only know what we see on the news. And when I think of the Middle East, you would consider Lebanon the Middle East, right?
Yeah, it is in the Middle
Yeah.
East.
Yeah. I think of rubble. All I think about is every time I see anything of the Middle East, it's rubble. Something just happened, something just blew up, there was a war, there's whatever, and it's rubble. But you're telling me Lebanon is mountains and trees. That's new to me, and now I'm intrigued. And then you tell me the food is good. So now I have a new destination. On my way back from Spain, I'm going to stop by Lebanon, and I'll let you know. I can't wait. I mean,
Oh, you're going to love
right?
it.
Yeah.
And Elsa, I would like to ask you because like in Fortaleza, like it's dangerous, and where you are living now, how is this like? Do you feel safe? How is how is this? How do you live there? Do you feel safe? Do you feel comfortable? Do you?
Here in the UAE, you mean?
Yes.
Well, I can walk at 3 in the morning and no one dares even to look at me. Alone, whatever. I will tell you this story. I was with my sister and we went to one of those big, massive malls in Dubai. And we had a giant cart that we were dragging with us. And we had our stuff and everything. And so we said, okay, let's put it at Victoria's Secret and just go. We left it there for 2 hours, moving and moving around, moving and moving around. Nothing budged. Everything was there. You lose your wallet, you can get it back. You lose your phone, you can track it at that moment. If someone tries to steal your phone, they're in jail in 2 hours. It's insanely safe in here.
Wow.
100%, of course, nothing is 100%. And sometimes things happen. But I mean, in that type of security, I mean, they're super effective and it feels so good.
Wow, that's
What do you
incredible.
attribute that to? What would you attribute that to? Law enforcement or just the general environment of the people? I mean, how did that start? How do you achieve that?
Um, well, it's part of it, law enforcement and lots of money that can be
Mm,
invested in security, and their desire to like be always number one in everything.
right.
And but also in other countries of the Gulf, this is also like the level of security is quite high. I don't know if the also the mentality of the people or if it's because the law, and here, I mean, like you don't play with the law no matter what.
Yeah.
So they're very effective, and the way to get there and to be able to travel and to get the visa and whatever, it takes a lot of screening before it happens, and your phone number is tracked, your phone is tracked, everything is tracked, so everyone, they know everywhere, where is everyone at in real time. So it's like it's quite it's quite interesting, very interesting procedures.
Another thing we noticed on holiday is when we went to the bank, there was guards in the bank with bulletproof vests and big guns.
Yeah.
I'm not used to that because we don't have that in the UK.
No.
How is it in America, Dave? In the bank?
Honestly, truthfully, I haven't been in a bank in a long, long time because everything is digital. I mean,
Online, yeah.
but actually, I lie a little bit. We have what we call a credit union in my town. I'm a member of a credit union. So, all right, I have been in a bank. No security guards in my where I live, but I live upstate. I mean, upstate New York is. I don't live in New York City,
Yes.
but I think for the longest time, the law enforcement. I keep on doing this. I know it's overused, but the law enforcement they've had at banks were basically what you would call a rent-a-cop. You know, a security
Yeah.
guard.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they have weapons on them. I think they're just guys that stand there and wear a shirt.
In
They wear.
America.
And tell you where to go.
Yeah, yeah, right. They're more right. They're more like a greeter or the information guy. But he might be wearing a security shirt. I don't know. I wouldn't rely on him to stop a robbery. Nor do I think the bank expects him to
Yeah.
stop a robbery. I think he's just a presence.
Yes.
It's symbolic. So we don't have weapons, dogs, or anything. So,
In
but we
America,
also, yeah,
it's a
yeah.
country of guns.
Yes, yes, you would think, but then again, I don't live in New York City anymore. I
Yes.
don't live in
Yeah.
Detroit. I don't live in a big city where the it could be an issue. We've had bank robberies in my town. I think I think one time they escaped on a skateboard. The person that robbed the bank, I think, escaped on a skateboard. I think that's a true story, and or they think one guy ran around the corner back to his house. He he just ran around the block because the street we were just talking about making a left turn and you're in a dangerous area. The street that the bank is on is Main Street in my town, but the street behind it always has a bad reputation for whatever reason. I don't know, but it's not dangerous. Nobody gets shot there, but it's not the best housing. So I think people need money. They make a convenient withdrawal, right, from the bank, and then they go home. So my town is not a good example of America at all, at all. But yeah, I don't recall. Even as a young boy, I don't remember going when I went to the bank with my father because he would go to the bank all the time. He always had cash, always a lot of cash. And I don't remember anybody, not guns, but security guards, but not guns. And mostly they're there for information and directions. They're right there. They're at the front door. What are you going to do? I mean, he's the first. He should know where to go. So, must be frustrating, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they're happy to be employed somewhere. Yeah. They're usually older and male. Always male. Always older and male. Yeah.
If you was to get in your car, Dave, and drive to New York City, the capital, how long would it take you from your home?
New York City is not the capital of New York State. Albany is the capital. Yeah.
Okay.
So Albany is 45 minutes to my north, and New York City, depending on the traffic and depending if I drive or my wife drives, is about 2 hours. It's about 2 hours by car, depending on the traffic. Yeah.
The traffic
Now-
or
What? It's 2 hours depending on the traffic, and also how many times do I have?
Depending who is driving as well.
Who is driving? Now I drive a little bit faster, but I have to go to the bathroom more. So I think it evens out. I think we're going to be faster if I drive, but then I go, wait a minute, I got to stop. I got to take a break. So yeah, it all depends. But it's about 2 hours. I would say 2.5 hours. Yeah. And if you enjoy driving, it's great. And if you don't, it could be really horrible. We've sat in traffic. We said, you got to really. I like going early in the morning. Anytime I go to the city, I always want to leave my house like 4:00 in the morning, and then get there and get the early bird parking because it's the cheapest parking. And then the city is yours. You get there at 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning. The sun's coming up, and everybody's just getting started with their push carts, with the coffee and all that other stuff. And it's a transition from evening to daytime, and the city is yours. You own the city for like an hour maybe, and then it gets busy. 8 o'clock, 8:30. You've given up the keys to the city. Now everybody's visiting, and it gets crowded. It depends. It depends what day. But that's a good question. Yeah.
Elsa, have you ever flown long haul, like more than 8 hours?
no,
Never.
no. I dread even the moment of having to do that.
When we was on the plane, I was quite surprised that when you go and there's like TV screens and there's pillows and blankets and reclining seats. How did you find the food on the plane?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, for a flight, yes.
I disagree.
Yeah, well,
The food was microwave food, and like next time we fly long haul, we're taking our own food
okay.
because I'm still getting stomach cramps now. 1 week later, so
Oh no.
How long was your flight? Well, you made a connection. So on your
Yes.
first flight, you got nothing, right? It was
yeah,
just
we
a
did.
connecting.
We
You did.
Yes.
What you gonna?
We got a
How
2 hour
long?
flight, I think, to Paris.
Yeah, it's a small breakfast.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we had 2 hours to Paris, and then we had 2 hours in Charles de Gaulle, and then a 9-hour flight from there.
On a 2-hour flight, you got a breakfast,
Yes.
like eggs, or really?
No, not eggs, no.
No, just a croissant with a drink and some fruits.
Yes. I think because they knew we had a
Very
connection,
fresh.
that's why
No,
they...
no.
They
Very
didn't.
fresh.
No, it's normal. Look,
Oh, it's normal.
it's normal. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
one story I wanted to bring up is when we got back to the UK from Brazil, we were stopped by the customs. Customs police stopped us
Here in the UK.
here in the UK, and they were asking us, "Where were you on holiday? Where were you? Where did you just come from? And what were you doing there? And why were you there? And how long were you there?" And I was quite on the back foot, to be honest. I was thinking, why are you asking this? I'm not a criminal.
Did they give you an answer? Why it was random? It was just a random search?
You didn't give an answer.
Oh.
I think it was random. Yeah. I
They
think
didn't-
it wasn't nothing like wrong. It's just they need to stop someone. So
Well, it didn't feel random. It felt like I was in an interrogation room.
Yeah, yeah. How long was the questioning?
no more than 5 minutes.
Okay, but it felt like a long. And you're in public, in front of everybody.
In public, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
It felt like I was pinned down and, and kicking me and everything else.
Right, the boot on the neck.
Yeah,
They had your boot.
exactly.
And Nelly was right there with you while you were getting all these questions.
Yeah.
And Nelly, did you feel the same way? Did you go like, no?
No, he wanted to see our passport, so I needed to show my Brazilian passport, my Italian passport. He wanted to know where did we stay? Did we stay in Brazil? And we told with my family, like I don't know, normal questions.
But what were you doing in Brazil?
Yeah.
Look, we were just,
How long?
we were just at the
yeah.
beach. We were just eating barbecues with your family and.
Oh, for heaven's
having
sake,
a
I'm
nice
Brazilian. I'm
Right.
Brazilian
Sorry, Elsa?
citizen.
Sorry, Elsa, I didn't hear you.
No, I was just like saying that, I mean, what would you do in Brazil? You're a Brazilian citizen. I mean, like, it's your
Yes.
country, so
Yeah.
what do they expect?
Yeah, like
Like I was thinking they was asking about drugs. To be honest, I think that's what they're aiming for with the questions.
Did they have drug-smelling dogs?
No.
No.
Oh, so it was totally random. Totally. I'll share you a quick story. As a truck driver, New York is on the border of Canada, and my job, many times I go to Canada. I have to cross the border. So when you cross the border, the way the truck is, you pull up to this window at this toll booth, whatever, and the guy inside asks you questions, and you have to show him your passport or I have a New York State license and it's enhanced, so I don't have to bring my passport anymore. I just give him my license and I give him a piece of paper, which is my bill of lading. It basically has been cleared. I have not been previously cleared. My load, my truck, and everything is all my license plate. Everything has been cleared with a broker who clears it with customs. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
I'm just the guy with the hands on the wheel. So
Yeah.
you have to pull up to the window, and sometimes the guy goes, "Good morning," and he'll just, "How you doing?" And he'll ask you a quick question. Where are you going? Montreal. Okay. Suncor, that's the oil refinery that I go to a lot. Okay. And then he'll do a little this and the stamp, gives you everything back. Have a good day. And then coming back, sometimes it's like, where are you going? Oh, I'm going back to New York. What do you got back there? I got asphalt or whatever it is. But understand, I am one of 3, 5, 7, 8 guys, all with the same truck. It's the same company, and we come every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We do it October, November, December, January, February. But they ask you these questions. I look at the guy, and go, you know where I'm going, right? I mean, I was here yesterday. We've seen each other many, many times. Or
Yeah.
You've seen my buddy behind me. You've seen the guy in front of me. But they ask you the same questions. And every so often, you get a rookie. I know he's got to be a rookie. And he's asking you more questions. And sometimes they're soft talkers. They're very low talkers. And my truck is running. They got to shut off the truck. I go, I'm sorry. I shut off the truck. I go, what was that? I can't hear you. Where are you going? I'm going back to New York, Rensselaer. It's the name of the town, or Albany. And then what do you have? So I don't feel like they're interrogating me. It's just like, we do this every day. You should recognize me or the truck by now, but they don't, and they don't. And I guess their training is keep on asking questions, because eventually you're going to find somebody, and they've got nothing to lose. These guys are alone all night. The hours that I travel, they are alone all night. And so anyway, I think that might help a little bit, Luke. That they're just doing their job, but it's annoying to us because, like, I'm just Luke. But I bet you last week they found a guy that looked like Luke, and maybe he had something on him, because they don't have dogs. So if they had dogs, the dogs would have smelled your stuff. But they don't have dogs, so they're waiting for you to break.
They're saying,
So,
they're waiting
stay
to
calm.
make a mistake, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even
It
though
can
I'm
be
not-
annoying.
Even though I didn't have anything, I'm just a traveller. But
Yeah. So stay calm and smile. and then eventually you'll get through. See, just like Nelly's there, just stay calm and smile, answer the questions, and because if you're nervous, you're making them nervous.
Yes.
You know, you're putting them on. You're projecting your anger, your fear, and it just creates more of it. Easy for me to say, but that's how I do it. When I'm at the window and this guy's asking me questions, I try to answer him honestly. But the soft talker guy, he really annoyed me. You know, because he was so quiet. He knows my truck is running, but he won't talk louder. So I had to shut off the truck, and then answer his question, and then start up the truck, and then it's very annoying. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not in the mood.
Elsa, have you faced something like this when you were traveling? Like questions or...
Some of the times they would ask me, "Where are you going?" "I'm having this. I'm going to this conference, and where are you staying?" Things like that. So sometimes it's part of the procedures, and sometimes they just want some company basically, and they just like ask very smiley and very nice. People are at the airports are being very nice in these areas, which makes it easier. And so, yeah, I mean, it happens this way. And what you were talking about the dogs, I remember this story that my colleague told me. She was going to Italy and she had pistachio, something with pistachio with her, and then the drug smelling dogs actually sniffed her stuff and they actually reacted. And so she
Oh.
was like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And it's the policeman who told her, "Well, it doesn't really matter. Do you have pistachio in your bag?" And she was like, "Well, yes, I mean." Okay. And I think she showed him or something like that, and he told her that actually dogs react the same way to pistachio when they smell pistachio as if they were smelling the the drugs. And it was like super interesting. And now we're like, okay, be careful of pistachio.
That's a good advice for our listeners.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good
I'm
one.
never taking pistachios to the airport, ever.
Salted peanuts, cashews, and almonds. That's
Yeah,
it.
Hmm.
that's it.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe M&Ms, whatever, you know.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who
Without
knows? Wow.
pistachio.
No pistachio.
So
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was like surprised too. I'm like, pistachio. I mean, out of everything, pistachio.
Wow.
And it's very expensive, and it's something like that is considered like something nice, especially if you take it from Syria, for example. I mean, it's the native land of it, which is very interesting.
Mm.
talking about the
Wow.
Middle East, last year we were in Istanbul, and it's amazing. It's an amazing city. Were you in Istanbul, Elsa?
No, no, haven't been there. Only in the airport because I had a connection. But that's it.
It's an amazing city, Istanbul.
What was amazing about it?
The history. The mosques are really beautiful in Istanbul.
Mosques.
We're in the mosques, in Blue Mosque, in Hagia Sophia, and in Sulhamet. Was it Sulhamet Mosque?
I think.
I think
But
it's
the
Sulhamet.
city is beautiful.
The city
in
is beautiful.
general.
Yeah, the
the
city.
Grand Bazaar, is beautiful.
Yeah.
And
I like to travel outside my comfort zone a little bit, and that was one of them times I was out of my comfort zone in Istanbul. It's a different culture.
Hmm. It's very different now. You're in the eastern part
Yes.
of the world.
Wow.
yeah, but it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. I was really impressed with all of the culture and the mosques and the way they dress, the way they speak. Well, for us it's completely different, but it's really beautiful. Like,
And
yeah.
we found interesting as well the call to prayer was something new for us.
Yes,
The call to prayer 5 times a day,
yeah,
on the speakers and stuff like that.
yeah, it's beautiful.
So what happens if? Because I don't know this to be. I don't know any of this. So Luke and Nelly, are you are you Muslim or
No.
no?
No, we're
No.
not.
But you're in a country where there are these mosques. So my stupid question is, so everybody is the majority is Muslim,
Yes.
right? Because that's the ones that are going to mosque. So what happens to the streets? Do they all empty out? Everybody goes 5 times a day?
No, but they stay. For example, they put
The prayer mat.
the prayer mat, and they stay and they pray where
But-
they are.
But they can pray at home as well.
Yeah.
I think the only time they go to the only time the majority of the population go to the mosque is on a Friday, I think.
Yeah, we see people on the path praying because they don't have enough space inside the mosque, so they are outside praying, and it's something like really different.
So you two are walking down the street,
Uh-huh.
and all this, you're just walking. You're going to eat. You just ate. You're going to shop, whatever. And all of a sudden, there's a call to prayer.
Yes.
And so you don't stop because you're not going to pray. But what happens to everybody around you? Is there a lot of stoppage on the street? I mean, not the cars and
I
it's
wouldn't
not like
say
No,
no.
no.
no, the everything is working normally,
Okay.
but
Okay.
those people they are praying.
But I think they know what time the prayers are, so
They know,
they're
they
organized.
know.
They're
Right,
organized.
scheduled.
Before,
Right.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, if you're at a restaurant, do you have to wait longer for service now because your waiter or waitress is like, I gotta go?
Nothing stops. Like
Nothing
the
stops, okay.
service- No, the
That's
service.
interesting.
No, everything is running normally.
Okay, that's interesting. So and you're surrounded by water. By the way, we need an international map for this show. You realize that, Luke? Like
Yes.
every time
Yeah.
somebody mentions, I'm on my phone going, I don't know where I don't know where any of these cities are. I'm a very ignorant American. I don't know anything. So I'm like, I'm just being honest with you. I barely know the 50 states of the United States, and I know Canada to my north, Mexico to my south, but otherwise I don't do a very good job. But Istanbul is surrounded by water.
Yes.
And it's a very narrow area, and the population is the majority is Muslim.
Yes, I believe.
Wow,
Yes.
that's great. What made you go there?
We're just not closed for any kind of travel. Like we're not closed for any cultures. We're not closed off people. Basically, we're
Right.
open to any kind of travel.
But you could have
experience-
picked
experience the
Asia. You
world.
could have picked Australia, but you picked Istanbul. So what was
Yeah.
what was the thought process in picking?
Because we like to experience culture and history when we travel, and as I said, we travel for food as well. We're open to travel anywhere, basically.
That's great. That's great.
Maybe not India. I'm worried about getting sick in India.
Well, that is a good question for another show.
Yeah.
Where do you not go because you're worried about getting sick?
Yes.
Yeah,
And,
I think the next podcast we can talk about it.
Yes.
Right. Wow, that's fascinating. Boy, that's some show. We covered a lot of bases here. Luke, do you have more stuff, or I think we've been here like over an hour already.
Yeah. Before we leave, I just wanted to say, I find this podcast unique because of the culture and because of the multiculturalism of our team. We have Elsa from Lebanon, Dave from USA, me from the UK, Nelly from Brazil, Ali from Pakistan, and Clarence from Philippines. So we're from all around the world. And I think
Right.
no other travel podcast has a team like this.
Yeah, no,
That's
I don't
true.
think so.
And what's interesting, Luke, is I think we forget everybody is from all around the world.
Yeah.
We forget that. Like people say,
Yeah.
where you from? Well, I'm from wherever. But the truth is, behind all that is we're all from all around the world.
Yes.
But we forget that. And I think our governments forget that. I think maybe popular culture forgets that. I think we forget that where the foods come from. I'm eating foods that did not originate in the United States.
Yes.
There's a lot of misinformation about where pasta came from or where this came from or all that stuff. And it's just interesting. I love doing this type of thing. So the World Travel Podcast is not always necessarily about actually getting a plane ticket or a bus ticket. It's about the people. It's
Yes.
It's a world travel people podcast or whatever you want to call it. So it's great. Meeting Elsa was fascinating. We learned a lot today, and definitely Luke and Nelly. I mean, to have a wall and a fence and a barbed wire and dogs and weapons and security cameras. I did not know that about Brazil, but that's not all of Brazil. That's
No,
where you
no,
were.
it's not.
Yeah, right. And Elsa's secret about Colombia will stay with her. We will never mention it again. I didn't hear a thing. My thing wasn't working when you mentioned it, Elsa. So don't worry.
Has anybody got anything else to say before we wrap it up for this week?
Safe
That was
travels.
a very cool. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Safe travels. That was cool, Elsa. Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Yes.
And
Same here.
yeah,
I was very happy
yeah,
to meet you finally.
yeah. And
Nice debut for Elsa, and nice debut from Nelly as well.
yes, Nelly, great job. Great job. We have to get you more on the screen and less of Luke. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
zoom
get your
out.
what? Yeah, Zoom. Yeah, they probably don't. You don't have an adjustable camera?
Oh.
No.
I don't know,
Yeah.
actually.
Next podcast.
Next
we're
one. Yeah, it's
going to
okay.
on this. Yes.
Yeah.
We're all learning, I guess.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because
Yeah.
when you have 3 or 4 people, your picture gets smaller, and then it's it's hard. But and Elsa, thank you for providing closed caption and interpretation for those who need it. My parents needed closed captioning and interpretation their whole lives. So for those who bring it to those who need it, I thank you. It's
Pleasure.
a great service. Luke, podcast number 2.
Yes.
Here we go.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
We're getting there. It'll be 100 before you know it. No problem. No problem.
Yes, I mean, like the superstar in here is definitely Dave.
No,
Yeah.
no. Listen, everybody's a superstar, so it's all different. I can't help but talk like this because this is how we talk in New York. So, you're shouting across the street to your friend, hey Vinny, hey Joey, or whoever. So it's different. But I know Luke is capable of that because I know he's a football fan and I've seen his tweets. So I know he's very emotional about his team. By the way, Luke, you were in Brazil. You didn't go. Did you go watch any football?
No.
Oh, that
We
would have
didn't
been.
have any. We didn't have any match.
No, not
when we
even
were
not
there.
a local friendly, a college friendly,
No,
nothing
I
like that.
checked
Yeah,
it. I checked it.
You checked?
okay, you checked.
Yes, I
You didn't tell
Oh,
me you checked.
that's sweet. That's a good wife.
You didn't
That's a
even
good
tell me
wife.
you checked.
Someone's
That's good.
smart.
Yeah. When we were in Puerto Rico, we went to a local baseball stadium. I'm not a big baseball fan, but we were curious what baseball looked like in Puerto Rico, and they have a lot of stadiums in Puerto Rico. There was a lot of stadiums. I was amazed how many stadiums there were. So we went to a local game, and I don't know what happened. I don't remember, but I remember having a hot dog or whatever I ate, and I had a soda. So it's fine. It's always good to see. I would love to go and see a Manchester United or Liverpool. I would want to go to one of those games and just be in that crowd where they're singing for an hour or whatever, the 2 hours, all that chanting and jumping up and down seems exhausting. In the United States, we fall asleep when we watch baseball. We overeat and then we pass out. So, but every time I see soccer on TV, Tottenham, it doesn't matter. Man U, it doesn't matter. The crowds are incredible. So I figured in Brazil, you would have went to have seen something. But all right, next time.
Next time.
Next time,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, and look at that. Look at that. Look, Nelly looked out for you. She researched
Yeah.
for you. That's
That was
nice.
a secret I didn't
Yeah.
know
That's
about.
it. Oh, that's sweet. There you go.
Yeah.
Romance, and everything in world food, romance, everything in world travel. It's fantastic. All
I'm
right.
finding this out at the same time as everyone else, all our listeners.
It's great. It's reality TV. It's reality podcast. There you go. All right, Elsa. Hopefully we'll do this again soon, right, Luke, Nelly?
Yes.
We'll do this again
Yes.
soon. And,
Next week,
and,
maybe. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Sounds great. I'm ready to go. I got things to do.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Good podcast.
Thank you.